Today I have a special episode with you. Someone reached out to me and asked a question, and I've told you always, if you have a question, shoot me an email or reach out to me, and I'll be happy to answer it on the air. So today I'm answering a question from a fellow officiant, and her name is Mercedes. So I'm going to jump right in to the question, then I'm going to answer it, and I'm going to give you another free tool that you can use. So stay tuned. Okay, so Mercedes reached out to me and sent me a message, and it says, "Hi, I love your podcast, and I was curious if you had a full script of what you say during your consultation with a bride and groom," or questionnaire, as I call it. You guys have heard me call it that before. And then she says, "I got my first couple, and I'm scared to death to meet with them because I'm not really sure how to go about the initial consultation. I did a raffle for St. Patrick's Day for a free officiant so I can gain the experience and pictures, but any advice and answer to that question will be extremely helpful. Thank you." So, Mercedes, I really appreciate you reaching out, and I'm going to put up a flyer of you for just a moment. Let's see if I can find it. Here it is, Mercedes McGowan. I hope I didn't butcher your last name. And she's a wedding officiant. So there you see it. That is Mercedes, and I really appreciate you reaching out to me, giving me the opportunity to answer this for everybody, because I've touched on the questionnaire, the initial consultation, but I've never gone over it in detail. So let's do a deep dive right now. The questionnaire and your initial conversation with the couple is extremely important. It's one of the most important milestones in your journey with each couple. So I call it a journey because you start with a couple. They have no clue who you are. They get introduced to you. You become friends. You become the professional that leads them through this experience. From start to finish, it is definitely a journey. And this is a milestone that takes you from down here to up here. And I'm going to explain why right now. For one thing, it sets the precedent of how professional you are. This is going to be the first icebreaker conversation where you have talked to them and shown your character, your personality, your character traits, your humor, all of that stuff they're going to get to know in this conversation. It gives the couple a great look at your actual personality, other than the video they may have seen on your website or the things they read on you. They've got a personality in their mind of you, but they don't know exactly who you are. And this is what this conversation is going to do. Another thing is it allows you to get all the information you need to give this couple a 5-star experience from start to finish. If you have my quick start guide, then you've read about the 5-star experience and the things that I teach and the things that I preach on, helping the couple have a 5-star experience, which is going to launch your business. It's going to shoot away your competition that are not paying attention to their job like they should. Just giving that couple a 5-star experience can take your experience to the next level, and they'll leave you amazing reviews and all the things. You'll read it if you haven't yet. Go get the quick start guide. Another thing it does is it gives you rapport with the couple that you never had before, and you might not have if you didn't set up this consultation and this questionnaire. And it allows them to tell you their love story and all the little things in between, all the little juicy pieces of information that you could add into the ceremony to make it that more special, or to if something funny comes up in your conversation and you write it down and you tell something funny in the ceremony, it makes it that much more special because you know their exact situation, their exact love story. So what to do? How do you start this initial conversation? First of all, I have to preface this with saying the first call is not the questionnaire, the initial consultation. The first call you do with them is actually a sales call. Now, yes, you're going to talk to them a little bit. You're going to qualify them, but as you know, the folks of the ones of you who have downloaded the Quick Start Guide on the website, there is a section in here that talks about it talks about the first call. And that is this right here. It's the phone call. So if you read that section, you'll understand how important the first call is. But the importance of the first call has nothing to do with building rapport. It has nothing to do with them learning your personality. It has everything to do with qualifying the couple and then getting their money. That sounds very salesy, but in the process, it's not salesy. You get to know them, you qualify them, they qualify you and get their questions answered, and then you get your retainer to reserve the date. Then you set the second call. The second call is the questionnaire and the initial consultation, what we're talking about today. So now that I've got that out of the way, more about that. Like I said, the quick start guide, if you need more about that, go download that. The money has already been exchanged in the first conversation, which is very important because there is no pressure in this conversation. It's a very, very low pressure situation. This is an icebreaker conversation, and it starts like this. I'm not going to give you a script per se for what you say. I am, however, going to give you a tool and a resource that is the exact layout of the questionnaire that I go over with my couples, and I'll give that to you in just a bit. So first of all, the first thing that you want to do when you talk to the couple, if it's a Zoom call, if it's in person, I try not to do it on the phone. You can do it on the phone. It has been done before if there's no other option. But in all honesty, you want to build that rapport and you want to be able to see each other's expressions and faces. So a Zoom call or in person. A lot of you are going to have to do Zoom calls because the couple might be out of town. They might not live near you. So just try to set up a Zoom call or phone conversation. So in the initial part of the phone conversation, you are going to be appreciative and thankful. The last conversation you had, remember, was them giving you money. Now, in Mercedes' case, she is doing this as a benefit to her business, so she's doing it for free. She put out a raffle and said, free officiant, and she wants to gain experience and pictures. But still, she asked the couple to do it. She said, hey, I'll do this for free, and then she's going to use the pictures and things to grow her business, so she's going to do the same thing. Be appreciative and thankful. So you start and say, I don't know, I'm John and Jill. How about that? John and Jill, I want to tell you how much I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to serve you. I'm super excited about doing a ceremony that really pleases you and that fits the vision that you have had for your wedding. And if you don't have a vision, that's okay. That's what this questionnaire is about. So appreciate and thank. And then you explain. You say, I've got a questionnaire today that I'm going to go over with you. Don't worry, you can answer this in your own time if you'd like, or I can write down the answers. And there's two ways you can go about that. So pause for just a second. You can actually write down all of the answers to their questionnaire. I've done that before. Or if the couple says that they need some more time, or if you think they might like to write, or you can just set a precedent and say, hey, I'll send you the questionnaire and you can fill it out later. Either way is okay. Neither one of those will break the ice in a wrong way. You can fill out the questionnaire, or you can have them fill it out. So I just explain, say we're going to go over the questionnaire, each section, and then I'm going to leave it with you if you need to fill it out, or I can fill it out here. You go over each section with them, and you let the intro to the questionnaire, for instance, I'm going to bring up the questionnaire right now, and it starts with the full names of the couple. So you start explaining each section and let that be an icebreaker, and then you shut up and listen. You just listen to what the couple says, because sometimes they'll laugh together, they'll tell their love story, they'll talk about the first time they met or something silly the other one does, and this gives you an opportunity in the notes section. You'll see in the questionnaire I give you, there's a notes section to jot down some notes as they're laughing or telling these stories, things that you can use in their ceremony. So the first thing is the full names of the couple. So I say, John, Jill, the first thing I need is your full name. I know it's crazy. I need your first, your middle, and your last name. And that is so I can fill a really nice certificate out at the end and give you that so that you can keep it and hang up on the walls. So what's your names? And then they'll start telling me their names. Sometimes the bride will say the groom's name and say, it's really funny, it's hard to pronounce, it's all this. And you're breaking the ice. You're letting the questions break the ice. You write their names down. The next one, contact info. I just need your phone, your email to make sure this is the best contact. You write those down. Wedding info, you let them describe the location. you're not just getting information, you're getting to know the couple, you're laughing with them, you're having a friendly conversation. So the questionnaire is simply this: full names of the couple, contact info, your phone and email, wedding info, so that is the location of the wedding, the date of the wedding, the time, and then wedding colors. It says wedding colors so we don't clash. Then you have love story. How did you meet each other? The first one will tell you, how did you know that they were the one? The second person will tell you, how did you know that they were the one? And then you say, what are the values that are important to you in your marriage? What do you see yourself? Where do you see yourselves in 10 years? Do you have to know all this information? No, you don't have to know. But by you asking this information, it tells the couple that you care, you want to know the full story and see the full picture so that you can give them a great ceremony. So that's the last one of those questions. Where do you see yourselves in 10 years? Sometimes they'll be like, well, we want to travel. We don't really see ourselves with kids, or we do see ourselves with kids, or because John has a child and that child will be, joined in marriage. Now he will be my child. And they'll tell you all kinds of information that you didn't know. So it's very important. The next thing is aspects of ceremony. So style of ceremony. Tell me what kind of ceremony you guys envision. Like, what do you see as the perfect ceremony? They'll start telling you about the ceremony. And if you have suggestions as a professional, they would love for you to divulge those secrets, those things that you know in your head, and you talk to them about that. So style of ceremony examples: short and sweet, romantic and flowery, solemn but joyful, religious, not religious, warm and familial. So when you're talking about these things, let them elaborate and give you more details on the ceremony. Vows, are you writing them, or would you like me to write them for you? Wedding party specifics. Who is giving the bride away? Is anyone giving the bride away? Who is the ring bearer? And they'll tell you a little story about the ring bearer, or maybe it's their dog, and you'll get to know more about their dog. Then special ceremony. Are you guys tying a sailor's knot? Are you pouring sand? What are you doing? Any kind of special ceremony? And then they'll tell you yes or no. Here's why. I would love to do one, but I don't really know about them. And then you can say, oh, well, I've got a special ceremony. I got some special ceremonies I can suggest. Or in Mercedes' case, I'm a brand new officiant, and I'm really looking forward to learning more about special ceremonies. So I will dive in and find that information out for you and get back to you. And they're like, oh, that's great. Thank you. Wedding planner, yes or no. Rehearsal add-on. Do you need me at your rehearsal? Yes or no. And then wedding planner name and contact. If they have a wedding planner, you want to know that information. You want to have her or his contact information so that you can go over the details, because usually when they usually when they hire a wedding planner, that person is handling most of the information, most of the organization, most of the scheduling for the wedding, and you want to make sure that you have their contact to talk about times, to talk about procedures and processes and things you're going to be doing, and then you can leave the bride and groom out of that unless they want to be directly involved. So the last thing you have is notes. I usually have a full notes section, and if I'm using paper, honestly, I use my Google Drive document and I type. But if I'm using paper, I'll have an extra blank sheet of paper on the back for notes. And as we're talking through all of this, this is usually a 35 to 45 minute process, which is great because you get to know the couple. And in all honesty, after you do this and after you do a good job with the initial consultation and questionnaire, then the next thing you really do is I do like a call a month out and then a call a week out, just to make sure everything's set in stone, the time's still the same, has anything changed, do you guys need anything from me? And it's that kind of call. And then besides that, you make sure your times are right, you touch base with the wedding planner, you show up at the wedding and you do it. You do all of the other things we've talked about before, and you'll have a successful wedding. So I hope this will help you. You can go to growmyofficiantbusiness.com and go to the resources section. There's a resources tab. If you're on mobile, click the drop-down menu, click resources, and you can go there. It is a Google Doc that you'll have to make a copy of, and you can use it over and over, make it your own. But I hope this will help you and bring to light what am I supposed to do in the consultation, the reasons for that, and kind of what it looks like. It's a really smooth process. You're just talking as yourself as a professional and trying to help. If you don't know the answer to something, or they talk about, for instance, a special ceremonies thing, and you're new and you're like, I only know like one special ceremony, don't try to give them a bunch. Just say, hey guys, I am going to do some research and find out, and I'll write down on a sheet of paper or send you a document in your email of all kinds of special ceremonies that you can do. And then we'll have another conversation. And the more things you do like that, the better this experience is going to be, the more your name is going to be circulated and passed around, and the more business you're going to get, the more positive reflection there is going to be on your name, and the better reviews you're going to get on Google or Wedding Wire or The Knot or wherever you're getting reviews at. So I hope this really helps. Go to the website, download the Quick Start Guide, download the, I forget the names of the things, The Guide to Building Wedding Business Relationships. A lot of you went and downloaded it the other day, and people are using this. If you're using the information and it is helping you, shoot me an email, reach out on social and say, Chad, that stuff's really helping. And then that will help me create more resources, such as the one I'm giving you today. So I hope you have a great day. I can't wait to talk to you again soon. See you later.